Here's a video tutorial on how to install the PyKMC program on Linux systems. For me, I'm using Arch Linux right now. Some of the packages that you'll need are Git. You'll also need a version of Python past 1.9. And for Python, you'll also need the virtual environment library VNV. And an implementation of MPI. In my case, I'm using OpenMPI. So do MPI run that, and a Fortran compiler. In my case, I'm using G-Fortran. Once all those packages are installed, the first step is to clone the repository for PyKMC. Here I'm on the repository website. You go to code, copy the clone URL. We'll do git clone -b develop, because the branch that we want to use is the develop branch. Do Control-Shift-V, hit enter, and now I just have to input the my GitHub credentials since the repository is currently private. Now that that's done, we can make a Python virtual environment. To do that, we'll do python-m vnv and then choose the path that we want our environment to be in. In my case, I already have a .vnv directory, and I'm just going to name it PyKMC. Now that we have that, we can activate activate the virtual environment using source, and then just put the same path to the virtual environment, but adding on /bin/activate. Now that we're in the Python environment, we're able to go into the newly cloned PyKMC directory, and we'll do pip install -e dot to install all the necessary libraries for PyKMC. Now that that's done, we're good to move on to lamps. I'm just going to leave the Python virtual environment for now since we don't need it. Go back to my user home file, and now we'll do another git clone. Here's the lamps repository. Go code, copy the URL, do git clone. This time I want the release branch. Control-Shift-V to paste the URL in, and just wait for it to clone. Now that it's finished cloning, I'm going to go into the new directory, and I will particularly go into the src or source directory. I will set my build configurations using make yes-basic to add basic packages. I will do make yes extra compute, make yes plugin. That's all the configuration options, and so to build the binary file, I will do make mode equals shared mpi-j8. And the -j option is for the number of threads that you want to use to speed up the compilation process. So I'll just do that now. And it might take a while. Alright, now that lamps is done compiling, I will modify two environment variables. So the first command to run is export path equals $path : and now I'll define the path that I already have to my lamps source directory. And this just adds it adds a reference to the lamp source directory so the system can find the newly created lamps binary file. We'll hit enter, and now similarly I will do export ld underscore library underscore path equals $ld underscore library underscore path colon, and then just like before I will define my lamps source directory, hit enter. Alright, now we'll install the Python interface for lamps. For this, you have to make sure that you are you have the Python virtual environment activated. So I'll do source, go back to my PyKMC /bin /activate, hit enter. Now I'm in the Python virtual environment again, and since I'm still in the lamp source directory, I can just do make install -python. Now that lamps have set up, we can move on to part N. So this will require another repository clone. Here I have it open. You go to code, copy the HTTPS URL, go git clone. I don't have to specify a branch this time, so just do my Control-Shift-V to paste in the repository link. It should copy over just fine. I will go into the new directory, which is called artn-plugin, and I will do /configure -- with lamps lamps underscore path equals, and once again define lamps path, but not the source path, just the main path. Hit enter. And now one more command to run, which is make lmp lib. Alright, now that that's done, it's time to modify another environment variable called Python path. So I will do export Python path equals $Python path colon, and I will now define the path to the artn plugin and the interface directory. And I'll hit enter. So now that artn is finished, it's now to move on to the IRA module. I will go back to my home folder, and this requires another git clone. So I have the repository open here, iterative rotations assignments. I'll go code, copy the URL, I'll do git clone Control-Shift-V, don't need to define a branch again. Now that that's done, I will go into the new folder, iterative rotations assignments, particularly the src or source folder. Now I will do make all. Once that's finished, all you have to do is modify the Python path one more time. We'll do export Python path equals $Python path colon, again, define where your new folder was placed. Just tab complete that. And in particular, you also want to define the interface directory. And once that's good, hit enter, and that should be fine. Now, just to test a simple example, I'll go to my home directory. I will make sure I'm in my Python virtual environment, /bin/activate. Now I can go into PyKMC, examples. I will choose the iron BCC example. Checking what's in here, we have potential file, initial configuration, and the input script. And for the command to run, first I have to make a modification to the input script so that it will run. In particular, I have to change the reference, this reference, to the artn plugin location so that it's accurate to my own system. And this is just using my preferred text editor. You can use any other text editor that you'd like. Once I've done that, I'll do python -m PyKMC -in input.in, and there. Now it starts running. One last step to make the program easier to use is to edit the bashrc file. So just using my text editor, I'll do bashrc, and this essentially runs any command that you want when you open up a terminal. And in particular, I want to make sure that those environment variables that I previously modified are going to be always modified when I open up a new terminal, so I don't have to continuously redefine them. So I already have them copied here, and I will paste them here. And you can see the three environment variables that were changed were the path, LD library path, and the Python path. So this is just an easier way to prevent having to reassign the environment variables over and over. Just export that, and now anytime I relog into my computer, then I don't have to worry about redefining those environment variables. And that's it.